Hello everyone, my index finger is hurt, please don't mind. We'll continue with the stored XSS in this video. Let's just revise how reflected XSS worked. So you have here a victim and there is a server. Okay. In the victim's browser, there is a tab and you have, let's say this tab is of Gmail or some other application where you have sent the phishing link as such www.bank.com payload is equal to script alert 1. Now you induce the victim to click on this link. When this link is clicked, a request is sent to the server, right? Server processes this payload and sends it as a response, and this payload ends up in the victim's application, the bank.com, and this payload the script and it gets executed, right? That is about reflected XSS. The payload that you send is processed by the server and it sends it back as is, right? That's the idea of reflected XSS. Now imagine a scenario where your payload that you send gets stored somewhere in the server, and server, upon storing it, it gives it back to whomever is requesting that stored content. Now that is about stored XSS. I'll draw a separate diagram. What I want for you to understand is, in reflected XSS, you send the request, the payload is processed immediately and it is sent back to the victim who clicked on the link, right? So that is the chain here. So victim is only one. In stored XSS, what happens? Your payload is stored and there could be multiple victims who visit that page and visit a certain page, and your stored payload will be sent to them, whomever is visiting that page. That is the idea about stored XSS. I'll draw a separate diagram of it. Now let me clear the screen. For stored XSS, let me draw a diagram. Let us assume this guy is an attacker. The attacker is sitting on this machine, and herein the attacker is visiting the application called as www.vuln.com. Okay, this application has a page called as forum where you can post messages, upload photos and those kind of things. So attacker, what he does, he posts a message called as script alert 1, right? When he posts the message, there is a server, right, which is processing this request. When he posts a message like this, forum, in the forum page, let's assume there is a message query parameter, and within this script alert 1 is sent. So this message, when the attacker posts it, the server saves this message in the database. The server is having a database also, and for this particular attacker user, this message gets saved, right? This is the message that gets saved. Now whenever anybody visits the forum, this message is pasted there. Now attacker is not the only guy visiting the web page. There could be other users as well, right? Like user B, user C. Whenever user B and user C visits the forum web page, this message, the script gets executed on their browser, right? In their browser, the script gets executed and they will have a pop-up as alert 1. So what is happening exactly in reflected XSS? If you send a request, it is sent back as is to this particular user only. So in this particular stored XSS, what exactly happens? The message that you send as a script that gets saved in the server, either in the database or in memory. And when other users request this forum page, the saved message gets it gets sent to the user B's browser, user C's browser as well, whomever is visiting the forum page. So this is more severe than reflected XSS because the scope of users increases, right? If because in the forum there are very many users, there could be user D, user E. So attacker need not send a crafted request to user B, phishing mail kind of thing. Rather, the attacker can just post it in the forum, and the attacker can wait for people to visit forum, and the script will get executed on its own. I have created a lab for it. Let us visit that lab. I'll show this to you in a practical manner, how exactly this will work. So we will be what attacker will be doing in that. The attacker will be pasting a payload, sending a payload which steals the cookie, right? So whomever visits that forum page, their cookies will get stolen. That is the idea for demonstrating stored XSS. I'll show the lab to you now. So I have the lab ready. Here in Chrome browser, we have the application. Application is hosted at localhost 3000. Let us also draw diagrams along the way. So the application is hosted at localhost 3000, and attacker is user A. Attacker is accessing the application. There are other users as well. I have Brave browser for user B. So user A is in Chrome browser, user B is in Brave browser, right? Now let me log in as user A. Password is also same. So I have logged in as user A. Let me zoom this page a bit. So this is the localhost 3000 application, which is having a forum. Here you can write your message in this forum, and whomever is logging into this forum page, whomever is visiting this forum page, for them your message will be visible, right? Let me write something normal. Hello. So hello is visible here. In the Brave browser, I can visit this application, and let me log in as user B. See, here we have user A's message, right? Now the idea is, what if user A is posting something malicious like a script, right? Let us post something malicious. So herein, this is the malicious message that we are posting. It's a XSS payload. So let us break down the payload. This is an image loading tag, and since src is set to X, it will fail, right? There is no proper source to it. So on error, this JavaScript is getting executed. This is nothing but it is trying to create a image or fetch a image from this particular server, but this server is actually malicious. This is an exploit server. So let us add this server to our diagram. So we have here localhost 4000 as an exploit server. This is set up by the attacker user A, right? And this is supposed to show the stolen cookies. If you visit the payload, this particular payload is actually stealing the cookie, right? It is actually supposed to fetch an image, but when it visits this particular server, the exploit server, it is actually taking the cookie along with it of the users who see this payload, right? So there's a query parameter called as C, and the value of it is the cookie value gets concatenated or appended to this particular parameter, and then it is sent to the server, the exploit server. So we have here the exploit server. When we visit the exploit server, in the logs page, you will have the stolen cookie of the users who visit the forum. Now let me go back to user A page and paste something malicious in the forum. That is this payload itself. Let me copy and paste it here. So I'm posting this. Obviously it won't load because it was trying to load an image, but the value was src is equal to x, right? So bogus value. Now what will happen to user B? If we reload this, user B will also have this image loader because it's a forum, and anybody who visits this page will have this image trying to load, but it's in actuality it's a payload, right? If we inspect here, even in network, if I reload this, see that request is going to localhost 4000 to the exploit server, and it is taking the cookie session value along with it, right? It's a session cookie. So if we visit our exploit server under log, if I reload it here, I have here user B's session ID, right? So I'm getting the cookie of user B. Similarly, let me open another browser. I am opening here a Firefox browser. Let us visit that application at localhost 3000. Let me log in as user C. Okay, so another guy joins the party. He is also able to see user A's message, right? So if we do Control U, you can see that user A's payload is actually there. It's trying to load an image, but it is actually a malicious payload. So user C has also joined the party. Let me just put that guy in the diagram. So user B is visiting the forum page as well as user C from Firefox browser. In reality, this user A, user B, user C are in different computers in different geographical location, whatever it could be. For demonstration, everything is happening in a single computer. For newbies, you have to understand in reality this happens on any users, whomever is logging into the forum page. So these computers are not in the same system; they are distant. Now user C has also logged in, right, in the Firefox browser. So this should have worked. In the logs we should have the session of user C as well. See, user C's session ID is there. Now whomever is visiting this forum page, their session ID will constantly come to us, right? That's the idea of stored XSS. Far more severe than reflected XSS because the scope of targets increases like anything, right? Whomever is visiting forum page will keep on getting their session ID. So that's the idea of stored XSS. The impact is much more than reflected XSS, because in reflected XSS, user A had to target someone, send them the link, have them click on it, then get their data. So timing and luck, everything should work for user A. But in stored XSS, user A could just simply paste the payload there and go to sleep, wait, and come back to the exploit server hosted at localhost 4000. In reality, it could be in AWS server, and wait for it. The session will be loaded in that exploit server. he can steal all the session data and take over the account of user B and user C. That's the idea of stored XSS. Let us revisit the flow again. So user A has posted a payload right in the forum page. User B is visiting the forum page, and when that page is loaded, the XSS payload is there, and the payload is actually making us visit the localhost 4000, making user B visit the localhost 4000, and in that request, the cookie is attached, right? So user A is pasting, user B is visiting the forum page is loaded in the browser, and within the forum page that request is sent to localhost 4000 and cookie is attached in this request, right? We can actually see the request. If we reload the page, see, this is the request sent to that exploit server. Localhost 4000 is an exploit server. Now I have shown you this demonstration of stored XSS to simplify the concept of it, but in reality I don't think this kind of attack happens that frequently anymore, mostly because of secure libraries and HTTP only being set to true. But there is another way you can do stored XSS. One of my colleague quite a while ago did an exploit of stored XSS that was quite fascinating for me. I'll be showing that to you in the next video. For now, I'll conclude and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.